we are ready, and now we are live on YouTube. Hello, people from YouTube. Tonight we are going to talk about artificial intelligence, me, Leticia, and Juliana.
Oh no, I think okay.
Hello,
No.
hello. I'm sorry, my connection didn't work. Leticia, can you introduce yourself, please?
Okay. My name is Letícia. I live in Porto Alegre and I'm 39 years old. And I work as a software developer. And I've been here to Talk and Talk since last August. And it's a good place to improve your English.
Okay, thank you so much. And Juliana, can you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Juliana. I'm living in Belo Horizonte. I'm a lawyer in data protection, and I'm a journalist too. I like to study English.
Oh, nice. So let's start the conversation about the topic of tonight. It's about artificial intelligence. Let me just put the questions again, just in case someone lost. And I'm going to read the first one. But before the questions, let me ask you, have you ever tried the ChatGPT? Have you ever heard about ChatGPT?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, ChatGPT is built on using artificial intelligence, right? And a lot of people are talking about it nowadays, in the news, in newspapers, and everywhere. Okay, so the first question is about how can artificial intelligence be used for good and evil? So, of course, artificial intelligence is a technology. We can use it to create tools for every single, basically every single need. But some people use it for good, some people use it for bad, right? Can you start this question, Juliana, please?
Yes, I think all tools could be used to good and not good things. But for about the chat GPT, for example, I think it's a good tool to help all professionals to improve your jobs, sort things, and they writing things, and they keep the process more efficient.
Yes, of course. We nowadays we still have a lot of repetitive tasks, right? That we can do every single day. We need to do the same activity all over again, and ChatGPT can automatize this process, make it more easy for us, right? I agree with you. And Leticia, how about you?
Okay. I think it's good when the artificial intelligence and the technology in general help people. For example, the ChatGPT I used it to understand more English grammar, for example. Okay, and I try put some questions, some examples, and this helped me how to understand how to use the difference, for example, the past continuous and present continuous, and the other things. Because I read one article in the LinkedIn about this, and I try to use. But for evil, I think it depends on how the people use the informations to put in these technologies, for example. Because in the same wiki, I read about the I don't know the platform connected the ChatGPT and in other things, and the people put some personal information or business information in this ChatGPT, and this use it to answer other questions, and don't have a, how can I say, filter. Okay, how to use this? In my opinion, it's
filter.
the problem. Filter. In my opinion, its problem. It's not the intelligence, the artificial intelligence, the technology, but how people use it, because it's a new technology. It's a new environment for everyone, and people don't have idea in the consequence about this at the moment. Probably in the future, they will.
Yes, I totally agree with you. I heard actually it's interesting because I heard some people talking about that personal information being spread to the internet, and of course, uh, hackers and people malintentioned, they can use this information for bad purposes. So to steal money, to pretend to be somebody else, to misleading other people. And of course, I agree with you as well that the problem is not artificial intelligence, not the tools created by artificial intelligence, but how people use it, right? In my case, I think also I agree the other examples you guys said. I think if we use to study, if we use to control repetitive tasks and to help us having more free time to spend with our families, with our friends, in this case, technology is good. But if we use to make somebody else like fool, to store money, to misleading other people's, I think this case it's not so good. And this leads us to the question number 2, the next one, which is, in what cases would it be justifiable to use artificial intelligence to make important decisions? Well, I think now the idea here is like a more deep question, of course, right? But it's about, well, what if we need to use artificial intelligence to, for example, decide if it's okay to do a surgery in a patient or not. For example, if it's too risky or it's not too risky, because somebody can die because of a surgery or something like that. What do you guys think about this? Can you start, Leticia?
Okay. For me, for example, I use the artificial intelligence to decide buy some stuff in the supermarket for me. Okay, because if this understand my, how can I say, uh, types the food I usually eat in the weekend, for example, and he decided to buy. It's good for me because I have more free time. Okay, but the
Yes.
other decisions, other important decisions in my life, I'm too afraid about this, and I think it depends on the decisions. Uh, this specific example for it's in my opinion, it's good because it's a repetitive task. Every week I go to the supermarket, buy some vegetables and fruits, and if they decide for me, I know uh, he knows about this, okay? Because he understands my uh, I don't know,
Your less,
understand my, sei lá, my preferences, okay? But
yes.
uh, other decisions, yeah, I think it's hard.
Especially if the artificial intelligence of the application has your track record, right? So he understands that you always buy some brand and you don't like another brand, for example, right? And if he
Yes.
can look to the internet to see what's the cheapest prices, this is
Yes.
really good, right?
Yes. If it find the cheaper and the better day, I need to buy it because there is a
Oh,
promotion, for
yes,
example.
exactly.
It's good, okay? Because sometimes you go to the supermarket when you open your refrigerator, don't have food.
Yes, exactly.
And it's not a good day to go to the supermarket, for example. It's the start of the month or the end of the month, there is different price of the same stuffs. Okay?
Yes,
And
exactly.
it's a good use to artificial intelligence. But the other decision, if I decide to listen the music and the movies, or okay, sometimes it's good, but other, how can you say the surgery, or and the other, if I
Yes.
decide I go or no to the doctor, it's not a good decision for artificial intelligence.
Yes, I totally agree with you. And I need an app like this for myself as well. If you have one, please suggest for us, okay?
Yes.
And Juliana, how about you?
I totally agree with you guys. I think the important decision, this is the person needs to do, but I use artificial intelligence for help me to do my plans. I I use it to help me do my agenda, things like this, organize the time. But
Oh,
this
yes.
I need to do.
Yes, it's really helpful, right? If you have a schedule and you use the artificial intelligence to help you in the tasks. Especially myself, I forget everything. I forget everything that I need to do. Some days I really need some tools to help me. Yeah, and Leticia, you about what you said, we need to be careful in what the artificial intelligence suggests us to do. For example, some people use let's use the ChatGPT to as an example. Né? Oh, ChatGPT, please suggest me a movie that I should watch with my family in this weekend, for example. And the people goes and this book you should watch this movie, and goes and watch it without even question or asking ChatGPT, why did you recommend that? We can use the tool and ask it to get more context about this, right? So I will, because there is a great actor, because it's five plus stars and something like that, right? So we need to ask it and be careful in what we are doing.
Okay,
Okay,
that's good.
Juliana, can you read the next question, number 3, please?
Yeah. How can we ensure that artificial intelligence is used ethically? I don't know the means ensuring.
Ensure, as make sure that something is going to happen.
Okay. I think we society have a problem with the racism, the sexism, the the things like this, and so artificial intelligence learns with humans. When put the 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 way, it's a dangerous for how do you say, for increasing this racism, these these things like this. I think it's a dangerous. For this, the artificial intelligence needs to use it with ethics.
Yes, I totally agree. You talked about some really interesting points here, like racism, sexism, and politics, right? Many other subjects that are really important, and we need to control. There are many like subjects involved in this, right? The organizations, the users, the government. So I really agree with you. And how about you, Leticia?
I think it's a hard question because if you think, for example, the other technologies like a Siri, Alexa, and the Google in the past, I think the first time people usually to ask a lot of unethical questions, okay, for this because it's a people think it's a joke and the other things and it's and this in my opinion these technologies represent the how the society views the specific points, okay, because it's not creative anything for an it's not create do nada, okay?
From nothing, yeah.
It's answer about there is a database and there is other bases and this create these answers about this base, okay? If you don't have, for example, rules or human to see about the ethical politics involved this, it's hard to control this because, for example, it's a black box, okay? It's a don't people. The artificial intelligence, you know what is behind that, okay? It's how people create this and what is the database, how to use this, and it's not I don't know how to explain this in English, okay? Because it's how can I explain example? For example, a few months ago, I read the human researchers use artificial intelligence to select some people's to a specific opportunity, okay? And this artificial intelligence reads some text. People writes anything there, but it know how these people, it don't have idea what's the background of the people, the experience and the other things involved this. Just read the text, okay? And the text and get and create a match to the specific opportunities. But there is a lot of people involved this and her experience, and this experience, it's hard to put in the words. When you talk with the people, you understand more this. And in my opinion, I think if you don't have a control involved this, it's probably create a bias with how to use the artificial intelligence.
Yeah, this is a really important subject you talked about, because if we don't pay attention to that situation or to the stuff that is happening, we may ended up in a world like the people that pretends better or that have more access to the how can we say to the more sophisticated resume or tools to create a resume can get the better positions, but these people may not be the best one for the opportunity, as you said, right? And also I think not only the companies that create the tools need to pay attention to that, but also the government and also the users. So we as users, we need to report to every single time that we use a tool and we see that somebody have or maybe as you said, the robot has a bias, or he used some sexist or racist terms in the application, we should report that to the regulators, for example, to say, oh, I use this tool, there is a problem, who can fix that? you know, because otherwise, if we use these tools, as you said, it's a new, everything is new, right? So it's a new stuff, and if everybody uses and did not report, this tool cannot be improved, right? So it's really important for us to report and to use it and to understand. Of course, in the beginning, everybody should understand that these tools are in better tests and in better versions, right? So this is something that is improving every single day.
Okay,
And
but you can talk about the ChatGPT. It's a beta version, okay? But if you think in the other artificial intelligence it's using now, for example, if you buy something in an online store and you pass in a process if your credit's approved or no, it's not new. It's used 4 years probably. And I remember I read in some book when people talk about the financial system, the change of the financial system about this. You put a group of people in a specific box, okay? And depends on the situation, you create more segregation.
yes, that's another really
And
huge
yes,
problem.
and when ask about this, the default question is, our artificial intelligence or our system that did said about this, okay?
Yes. And of course they don't open the code or the algorithms for us to try
Yes,
to help the company to not do this, to create these small bubbles, let's say like
yes,
that, right? Small bubbles and see, oh, if this person comes from this place or that age or this sex, then we need to deny the this attempt to buy something because maybe he doesn't have credit enough to pay for.
yeah.
I really agree with you. Okay, so Leticia, can you read the next one for us, please?
I think Juliana don't answer this question.
Oh, really?
Yes, I talk a lot.
You- Oh, no. But I
No,
think yes.
no,
Juliana,
no. I,
Okay,
I, I,
okay,
I,
excuse me.
I
yes,
am the
she
number,
answered.
right?
Number
Number,
three, yes.
yes, I talk about the racism and the sexism. When
Okay,
listening you talking, I remember the documentary Coded Bias in the Netflix.
Hmm. Is it good? I didn't watch.
Uh, it, it's a good documentary. Talk about exactly the top and the about the recruiting the people in the Amazon and the other companies, the artificial intelligence don't contract woman
Mm.
the resume recept the resume and when the the bot read the name the college it's a college for a woman it's already
Mm.
the resume.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it. Thank you. Thank you for the suggestion. I really love the documentaries from Netflix because I can learn a lot. And this subject, there are so many things to talk about, right? So we keep talking here, Leticia and Juliana, and sometimes we forget the timing. Okay, Leticia, can you read it number 4 now, please?
okay. What is the role of artificial intelligence developer is ensuring technology ethics? Uh, I think, in my opinion, now we live in the challenge when you create diverse teams. Okay, I think it's the same way we need to use the how to create the artificial intelligences and how to okay, it's how to create the things involving artificial intelligence, because people, there is a background and the use their experience and their bubbles, for example, they live, and they contribute this. Because, for example, my experience, it's totally different to Juliana, it's totally different for you, and this is important to involve when you create artificial intelligence, because it's a new technology, it's a new challenge at the moment, and if you don't think this at the point and they start, for example, a few years you have the same problem and you have now, and the companies now to solve this, create more diversities, because in the past there is only vision about how to create many softwares or many companies, digital products, and involve this.
Yes, I agree with you. Sometimes we don't pay attention to the small details in the beginning because we say, oh, in the future we can solve this, right? But it's really important to do the right thing in the beginning, from the beginning and on, right? I really agree with you. And also, there is a documentary, as we were talking here, the social media dilemma. Have you guys what? Yes, right? And they talked kind of about that because the developers, the engineers of the companies, they knew that in some case they knew they were doing something that is not good for the users. But even so, they did the wrong thing. So they created systems that made people addicted to the social medias, right? So as a developer, as a professional, we need to be careful that and not doing something just because it's our job, or maybe report that to the regulators, right? So nowadays we have some tools to report the stuffs anonymously, so you don't need to lose your job because of that, you know. And also talk to our superiors and say, oh, isn't that bad for the users? So can we not control the artificial intelligence, things like that? As a developer, I try to think about, I try to think that way, you know. And Ju, how about you?
I totally agree with you and Leticia. Leticia said something that's really important about the diversity, but the companies and I don't know the word, but the many companies don't have a diversity in the team. In this documentary, Conduct Bias, for example, said about this. For example, in the technology needs to read the face, don't read the Black people, don't read Asian people, because the eyes, the people. And I did two courses in this area. I'm not the area technology TEI, but I did two courses, and when I go to the company, have one woman and one guy and one Black guy. All people, it's man, it's a white man. I think it's really important to diversity in these all ways. But really important in technology.
Yes, I agree with you and Leticia. I used to work in Itaú, and I remember our old the ex-CEO. He always used to say in the meetings that everybody has a different word or a vision of the word, right? So that's why it's really important to have different people from different ages, different um, uh, different sex and different stories of life, because everybody has something different to s- to to put in the project, in put in their vision in how they can create new products, new services for the users, right? So in the artificial intelligence and in the technology, it's not different. It's the same. We need to have many people from different backgrounds.
Nowadays, for example, I started to work as a technology a long time ago, in 2001, okay? It's totally different now. And if you think now, when you talk about the diversity, the companies more pay attention about the diversity, because they understand there is a big problem now. If you think in the past, you don't graduation, many different peoples, diversity people in general, and now you run about this. There is a lot of opportunities and a lot of opportunities how to use the technology in different areas. But you don't have a lot of people to work with this.
Mhm.
And in the other side, it's create a diversity. It's a good idea, but you need to know, to pay attention about the education, because it's a good for companies. I have a diversity. I open a many of the opportunities for a specific diversity in my company, but I don't have people in this group because don't have education about this. And it's the other point. You need to graduation these people to use these opportunities, because you open, but you don't pay attention in the other side, because this side, it's a big problem in the past when people don't see, know, and people see about this now. And you, how can I say, regress
Mhm.
to this and pay attention more about the education.
Yes,
Okay.
that's happening, and it's actually sad, right? When we say that, when we see that there are so many job opportunities, technical job opportunities in Brazil and other countries, and the humanity cannot, how can I say, teach people or teach people the way we need in the speed that we need to occupy these positions. So and also because we have some problems of diversity, of inequality of inequality of social inequality and things like that. Many people, poor people especially, don't have access to education to work in these technical careers, and this is a serious problem because the artificial intelligence is actually replacing many job positions nowadays. If we think about drivers, robots in industry, right?
Yes, if you think automation, many process in
Automation.
our life or in the company's life in general, for example. Okay, I know there is a question about this. Okay,
Mhm.
you think that you create many opportunities for the job, but you need to pay attention about the education, how to graduate these people to use the new positions in the future we create for this.
And Juliana, you said you are a lawyer, right? And do you think artificial intelligence can automate this career, like being a lawyer, or help to the professionals in this career?
Yes, I, I think so, because the technology it's important for all areas, especially for areas working with a lot of data, a lot of information.
Mm.
And so law have a lot of information, have a lot of data, have a lot of process. I think yes, and they actually use it, the intelligence, artificial intelligence in law.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to add another question, not in the same order, okay? So let's switch to the question number 8 as we are talking about job and job market, okay? So let's move to number 8. How can artificial intelligence affect the job market? So can you start, Leticia? Do you think, how can this happen?
I think now I see, for example, the positions when people there is interaction with other people, for example, supermarket, airport, and the others. I think there is artificial intelligence or the other process automate involved this, okay, but it's not so good sometimes, because if people don't know how to use this, you create other problems, okay?
Yes.
And I think, how can I explain before, there is a lot of new opportunity, and I don't have idea now, okay, in the future, when you can create when you use the artificial intelligence and create a new job market. For example, automation, many processes, it's one, but in the when you talk about the smart cities, for example, if you think the public transport involve this, you can use the artificial intelligence to connect the cars, bus, and the lights, for example, the system lights and the how can the cameras control the traffic and the other things. I think you can use the artificial intelligence to do this, and this it's probably the new jobs involve this.
Yes, this is really interesting about technology, that many technologies that will be used in like 10 years, we don't even imagine now, right? So
Yes.
ChatGPT is one. We didn't, like maybe 5 years ago, we didn't have any idea that we use a chat.
If you think I think top 5 business at the moment, artificial intelligence, environment, smart cities, and the others, I don't remember all. There is a lot of opportunity to how to use the artificial intelligence to help this. For example, you talk about the control, the nature, the environment, the risks involved this. You create some tools to help the people how to control and how to understand this part. Because data, for example, we live in all of data in our lives, and you create many models of the artificial intelligence to use the data and create more specific programs, help people to create specific programs to involve this.
Yes, data is an field, a segment that can help a lot us, and it will change a lot in the future. Nowadays, we are already in the big data years, right? In big data, everybody talking about big data, but I think data is really promising and can develop a lot in the future. And Juliana, how about you? What do you see any other changes in the job market, not only in lawyer or technology, but any other careers that you know?
Yes, I think it affects too much, because I don't know the word, but the bots doing a lot of jobs the people could be do, and I think this is impacting in the social. It's good, but maybe it's not so good for older people because they don't have positions for people working, and I think it affects the society for good and for bad.
Yes, that's for sure. And I think not only the companies, but the government should help the companies in this process, right? To, for example, create laws for example, a company can pay less taxes and fees if they hire more people and teach more people from how to use new technologies, giving certifications or qualifying people for free, things like that. It's really important, especially in this transition, because many people are losing their actual jobs and they need requalification to start in a new position, start in a new area, right? So it's really important for the society to think about this, not only transition directly from, oh, now we are going to only use robots, but how about the people that lose their jobs, right? This is really important to think about.
If you watch the series Better Than Was, you know about the consequence for the future, for the people, the bots help the society in the process to accelerate the process, but people don't have money to stand.
Oh, nice. It's better the bots, the movie. Its name.
Better Than Was.
I'm going to research that now that I have 2 suggestions for my weekend. Thank you, Juliana. Okay. And I'm really excited about this kind of movies because for me, it's something that if I like scientific movies, fiction, scientific fiction and things like that. I really enjoy.
Yes, I like it too.
Okay, so let's move. We are actually running out of time, but we have time for maybe two questions. Okay, so let's talk about number 6. What's the role of government in regulating the use of artificial intelligence? So we talked a bit about that. So let's go deep. Can you start, Juliana?
Yes, I think the government needs to make it a good law and involving different people of society to write the law and the regulation for don't increase racism, don't increase sexism, and the things like this. I think it is.
Yes, of course. The government, many of the regulators are coming from the government, so they need to create really several punishment for those that commit crimes, right, using technology, especially artificial intelligence. And how about you, Leticia?
I agree with Juliana, and I don't have idea because not my expertise, but sometimes I'm afraid if many companies use artificial intelligence, not a regulation for specific areas, for example. For ChatGPT, for example, there is a lot of videos on the internet how to connect ChatGPT to WhatsApp, how to connect ChatGPT in the other things, okay? And when you use this, you create other tools, okay? And you ask some questions for the WhatsApp and the ChatGPT answer. But what do you control the questions and what do you control the answers? And if you think, for example, the copyright, the other answers, other rules involve this, for example, get information, get the private information, the people, and the answer in this WhatsApp because one company decided to connect these and don't have a rules to use, okay? And sometimes I'm afraid about this if the personal data of the customers of the companies how can I say, vazou in the WhatsApp, for example, because people
leak
connect
data. We can say data leak, right? Yeah.
Data leak in the WhatsApp because people connect this and I don't know.
Yes, and some people they see, oh, there is a video teaching how to do it, and they unconsciously they think that this is how can I say, a valid stuff to do. So this is regulated, that they think that it's okay to do, to use this technology, but they don't research about it. So they don't try to think if this is legal or not, if this is going to affect their customer or not, right?
Or create new fake news, for example. I don't know. I don't know, because if you fix the fake news, it's the worst in our time, probably specifically in the specific times in the politician and the other things. And if you not control the data involved, how to use this technology, I think to create one more tools, create more fake news and more evil in our lives. Because, okay, we work with a technology, we understand this, but 90% of the people don't understand this, don't agree when the answer, don't agree in many things the technology answers.
Yes, sometimes they have not been trained to use it, but they use it. They are
Yes,
the user that most use these technologies, right, in real life.
yes.
We
I mean,
create
like,
it and they use it.
yes, I like when I use the new technologies and the proposal and the other things. But when you talk people involved this, it's a sensible way how to use it, because you talk about the people, you talk about the many other things involved this, the ethical and the sexism and the other involved.
Yes, yes. It's really a deep subject. We can talk here for all these questions could be only a one TNT subject, right? Because there are so many things to talk about it. And only about this specific topic, I saw in the news yesterday, the politicians in Brazil, in Congresso, they were discussing about how social media can, prevent this fake news and things like that to happen. And it's really important. The government has a really important paper in this process to try to talk with the companies, the creators, and to get a solution. I don't agree the companies should, for example, open their code to everybody else to, because if a company does that, they are losing money, they are losing their job, but they need to find a solution. For example, if people are creating many fake news, let's use another artificial intelligence tool to detect that and to block, it's possible. If they wanna to control, they can, so the government has to be there and talk to them and enforce them to make sure that this is not going to happen anymore. Otherwise, we are going to, as you said, we are going to live in a world like chaos, right? No rules, everybody does whatever you want, and it's not what we want, right?
Yes, because excuse me, because if you don't have respect with the other people, it's a problem. And how to use the technology, don't respect the other people, it's a problem.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Juliana.
You said because now the lawyers discuss about what the fake news, because something it's true for some people, something it's not true for other group. This discourse about what's the truth, it's complicated. It's really complex.
Yeah, it's really difficult. That's why we have the ethics, right? Because we need to try to find what's the balance for each side. It's really complicated, as you said. Okay, let's see. I think we have time for one more question. Let's find what's number 5. Okay, can you read for us, Leticia, please?
Number 5, how can artificial intelligence affect people, privacy, and freedom? Oh my God. I think when the data leak, the artificial intelligence affect the privacy and the freedom of the people too, because if it depends the data involved in the data leak, it's a big problem. But in the other ways, if the artificial intelligence control life of people, make decisions of the people, and the people don't have, how can I say, don't think by herself, for example, by yourself, it's a big problem, because you create a one person repeat the robot, okay? Then the people don't have discernment, okay, to decide when you use all the artificial intelligence make decisions. Okay,
yes,
I answer faster to Juliana. Have time.
Okay, your time, and we are running out of time.
Yes, I totally agree with Leticia, and about the privacy. I think things like the imagine create the pop-up. It's okay. It's a fun, but if you thought about what the people can do with this, and the older people believe it, it's a pretty problem. It's a big problem.
Yes, I totally agree. Everybody can have its own the private data in the internet with this technology, so we need to be careful. Actually, we need to be careful with our data too, and not putting every single information in every single form on the internet, right? Or every single application, because it could be really dangerous for us and for our family. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I really enjoyed this conversation. And I hope to see you soon in the next TNTs, okay?